Hey everybody, Tom here, and today I want to teach you how to play Otys. Otys is a kind of diving game with really cool artwork and unique mechanisms, and not the strongest theme ever, but definitely a cool brain-burning game if you're ready for kind of a nice puzzly challenge here. And so let me just give you a quick overview. Now, my goal with this channel, but also with this video, is to treat the camera just like I would a group of people I was playing with. And my goal is to get the game playing as quickly as possible. And so I like to teach throughout playing. I find that, at least for the people I play with, is usually a little more effective or fun than teaching all the rules up front. We usually just like to teach them the minimum and then get playing. And so I want to do that here in this video, and we'll try to make sure that everybody knows kind of what's going on here. So just a quick overview of how I have things set up. We're going to be playing with two different players. Now, I just want to point out, full disclosure, is that I've added these papers just to make it more clear as we bounce back and forth from one camera to the other. There are ways to tell the difference without those papers. For example, this player has all of these red or magenta-y circles over here, and then also the shark up at the top is kind of colored. Here we have blue circles and a blue shark, but just for clarity on camera, I've added the papers just so that you can tell who's doing what as we're bouncing back and forth. So we've got our two player boards down here. Each player has their own board. If you're playing, this plays 2 to 4 players, of course. So there's that. And then up here at the very top, we have kind of the big communal board where a lot of the choices are going to be happening and things like that. So let's head over to the big board so that I can explain exactly what it is we're trying to do in Otys. Okay, so here we have the store board. It kind of has all of these. Oh, I don't know why that's there. We have all of these important things here. Full disclosure, this is a Plano box that I've provided, as well as 2 geek boxes that are my own, that I have added to the game to help with setup and takedown. So you don't get these when you buy the game, but I find that I love to use them, so they're there. Just wanted to make sure that you don't wonder where your Plano box is if you buy the game. But okay, so here we have the main store. And each player is going to have one of these tokens representing their color. Let's put the blue one on the left. And in the game of Otys, you're trying to get the most points. These are prestige points down here, or victory points, whatever you want to say. I think the book calls them prestige points. And you're trying to get the most, and you'll see that the 18 looks a little bit different. That's because as soon as somebody hits 18 points, then you finish the round by making sure everyone has had the same number of turns. Person with the most points is the winner. Now, there are several ways to get points. I'll just briefly show you. You can kind of see the shape of the points looks like this. And you're going to see a couple of those on this board. So, for example, over here, you can see, it's a little hard. I know it's kind of far away. There's a 1 point here. So you can see that there's one way to get a point through the store. I want to talk about that more when we get towards that. You'll also see that there is a point here. So these tokens are kind of ways to get points. On the back of these tokens, these green ones have ways to get points too. I want to talk about more about that later, but also another big one here is noticing that there's a point associated with this big blue tile. So there are ways to get points, kind of one at a time, these little ways, but for the most part, what we're going to be trying to do is puzzling our way through collecting enough cubes. And so we've got blue, black, green, and white cubes. These represent things. I think blue is metal, black is fuel, green is plants, and white is something incredible that I cannot remember. But yes, so there are thematic things behind those cubes. But essentially what we're going to be trying to do is fulfilling these contracts. And so you'll see there are kind of 2 different kinds of contracts that you're trying to collect. These contracts here show that you need 3 colors, 3 cubes of a specific color, and then 2 cubes of a different color on the same level. I'll tell you more what a level means, but that's, you're trying to collect cubes, and not just in general, but a specific level of your excavation. This is going to show you that we need 1 green, 1 white, 1 black, 1 blue. And so if you can collect this card, you'll get 5 points. and some credits, which is our economy in the game. This one, if you can fulfill this, you'll get 4 points and a battery and a credit. So these are going to be the big ways that we're going to be able to collect points. So I just wanted to point that out. So again, in general, this is going to use 5 cubes that we'll need to collect, 3 of a color, then 2 of a color, to score that, 2, 2, and 1 here, and then 1 of each. So that's our goal. As we're making our decisions, we're thinking to ourselves, how can I best collect those contracts there? Now in this shot, I won't normally have the main board and the player board so close to one another, but the choices you make on your main board are also, on the player board, are also going to come into this big board over here. So just for this shot specifically, I wanted to have them side by side. But what I wanted to point out here is that you can kind of see that we have these numbered tokens, 1 through 5. We also have this X token up here. Don't worry about that for right now. We have 1 through 5 labeled down here. And for each one of these different levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see that we have, it might be a little hard to see on camera, but you can see there are different levels over on this side. You can kind of count the big squares over there, and then there are little squares. So this top level has 3 little squares, 3 little squares, 4 little squares, 5 little squares, and 6 little squares. And the reason I mention that is, if we're trying to fulfill this contract, the one that we had already talked about, well, we're going to need 5 cubes on a specific level. So if I really wanted to get this contract, 3 of a kind and 2 of a kind, I'm going to need to come down to these levels and realize that I got to get those kinds of cubes on a single level. So there's no way I could fulfill this contract up on these top 3 levels because there aren't enough cube spaces. I'd have to fulfill it down here. Meaning I probably want to get at least 1 more blue, maybe 2, and then more of another color. Maybe the same thing down here with black. So the number of cubes on those cards are going to relate to where you're trying to collect those cubes on your player board. Now, your turn is going to be pretty quick and honestly kind of straightforward. Once you make one of your choices, you're going to more or less have 5 choices on your turn. And then the thinking about which one is the best choice, that's where the real magic of this game comes up. And so what I would do, again, if I'm teaching you guys or if I was teaching anyone else, is I'd say, here's exactly what you do on your turn. And I would have my first turn thought out. So what you would do on your turn is you're going to first pick one of these numbers, 1 through 5. And what you'll do is you're going to show which number you pick. So for example, I'm going to pick level 4. And that's important because as soon as you pick a number on your turn, you're going to slide the 4 over until it just touches this thing right here. This is called a diver. And these are called keys. So I've slid key number 4 over here to show, hey, I'm going to be taking action number 4. When you've made that decision, then you're going to look over at the main board and you're going to see those same numbers, 1 through 5, on this side of the board. And you're going to go look at number 4 and you're going to follow this over. These are called sponsor tiles. So all I've done so far is I've said, hey, I'm going to take action number 4. I slide it over. I'm going to look at the sponsor tile and I'm going to do whatever that sponsor tile says. In this example, it's telling us to gain a credit. So remember, the credit is kind of the economy. We start with 3 of them. And I am going to do that. Let's just have the blue player decide that for his turn. And so he's going to pick up 1 credit and put it over here. Now to continue his turn, he's going to keep pushing that 4 over until this scuba diver hits the side. It's a little hard to see on camera, but this is grooved, which is a very cool feature. I like that a lot about the way that they've designed this game. And so once we push it over, then we're going to take whatever action that scuba diver is. I'll go more into detail, but really straightforward with this scuba diver. It's just saying, get a green cube, and we're going to put it on that level. And so I'm going to pick up a green cube, and I'm going to put it on that same level with that blue cube there. That was the end of the blue player's turn. And to show that his turn is over, what we're going to do is we pick up the key that he used, turn it upside down, and we're going to put it down here, and now it is locked away. I can no longer use key number 4. This whole level is more or less unusable. We can use this X, but we'll talk more about that later. For now, and then we're going to pick up our scuba diver that we used. We're going to put him at the top, and he needs to surface for air, and everybody else slides down. So that's the basic turn structure of a game. You're going to pick a key, slide it over, do the sponsor action, and then you're going to do the scuba diver action, and that's going to be your turn. We're doing our best to collect those cubes. So right now I'm going for either 2 blue and 3 green, or maybe 2 blue, 2 2 green and 3 blue. Or maybe one of the other contracts. Totally possible for me to go for the 1 of each kind, or the 2, 2, and 1. We're going to play it by ear and see how that goes. But that was the blue player's turn. So now before the pink player goes, let's talk more about what these sponsor actions are. Let's get very specific. If we had chosen to do action number 1, what this would say is that we could pay 2 credits in order to go to a scuba diver, any one of our scuba divers, and upgrade them. Meaning we could have taken, for example, our green scuba diver that we use, and we could flip him over, and now he's going to be more powerful, had we chosen action number 1. If we had chosen action number 2, we would pick up batteries, and I want to talk more about what batteries do here in a minute. If we had chosen action number 3, that would mean that we would just do that scuba diver action 2 times in a row. So I could have gotten 2 green cubes had that green scuba diver been on level 3, and I picked the level 3 key to slide over. You already saw me pick up a credit for number 4. And level 5 means you take one of your locked tokens. So you remember with the blue player, we had locked away token number 4. You can kind of see, let me pull it up close. There's a little lock symbol. And so what you could do is you could take one of those lock symbols, unlock it, and put it back onto your player board where you could use it again at another time. So that's what the 5 sponsor actions do. And as the pink player is getting ready to go, let's talk about what the different scuba divers do. I'm going to kind of push them over to the side as we talk about them, because a lot of these are kind of straightforward. So there are 4 scuba divers here to correlate with the 4 different cube colors. So this scuba diver lets us get a green cube, a blue cube, a white cube, and a black cube. Really straightforward, but when you choose that action, that cube has to go on the same level as where that scuba diver is. So if we had picked key 2, eventually, after doing the sponsor action from the main board, then we would add a white cube to this level, or a black cube to this level. We can't pick these ones because they're too high up. They're above the surface. You can kind of see there's water here. These are the scuba divers that we can use. The other ones are above the surface doing their thing. And let's talk about the other scuba divers now. If we had this scuba diver lower, we could execute this action, and what it shows you is you're going to choose. When it's split in half like this, you get to pick one or the other. We could choose to pay a credit to upgrade the mechanic. So the mechanic is this guy that is going to let us, if we spend batteries, here's where you're going to see what batteries do. If you choose to spend a battery, you can lower the mechanic, and you can kind of see the mechanic has a couple of scuba diver icons near there. So if you spend a battery, then what he's going to do is he's going to let you pick one of your scuba divers and move them up or or down this number of spaces. So right now, our mechanic is at level 1. If our pink player chose to activate or chose to during their turn, they could spend this battery to pick up one of their scuba divers and move them up or down one, putting them in a better position to use the key. You usually use that so that you can match the sponsorship actions better to have like a more powerful turn. And while we're talking about batteries, another use for a battery is, you remember at the end of the blue player's turn, we picked up the scuba diver and moved him to the top. Well, if I spend a battery during that part of the turn, then I can keep the scuba diver and not let him go up to the top. I could keep him there so that I could use him again on a different round if I wanted to. So that's what this guy does. He's going to let you pay a credit, and you can upgrade your mechanic, or you could pay a credit and upgrade your hacker. This guy down here at the bottom, he's called a hacker. And when you upgrade him, you're going to move him to this side. Because what's going to be happening is, as we lock our keys down here, now we can't take these actions because we don't have any keys up here anymore. And so these keys are going to come down here to the bottom and fill this up. And as soon as we put the last key in its place, then all of our keys become unlocked and they come back in. And now we have more flexibility on our turn because all of our keys are returned. So you could see by upgrading your hacker, you slide this guy over. That's going to take fewer keys coming down here before you get them unlocked and they come all the way back to the top. Right now you have to use them all before you can get them back. But if we could slide this guy over, well, you only need to use a couple of keys before you're going to bring them back. And so it's going to give you kind of more options as the rounds go on. All right, Let's talk more about, that was that guy and that guy. Now this guy here, if we wanted to, we could pay a credit to pick up 4 new contracts. So here's like a deck of face down contracts. You'd be able to draw 4, look at them, and then you'll keep one as a private contract that you can work towards rather than working for that public display of contracts. So that's what this icon means. Or you could pay a credit to spy on someone. So right now this is on slot number 1. So if the red player chose, let's just quickly talk about what could happen on the red player's turn before we make a choice. So the red player could choose to slide number 1 over. That would let them upgrade one of their scuba divers. We haven't talked about the upgraded abilities, and I don't want to until we come to that, but we would pick one of the scuba divers and flip them over because of this if we wanted to by paying 2 credits. And then let's say that we slide this over. We could get a new contract that's private, or we could spy on our neighbor. Now in a 2-player game, you're just going to look at the one other player. In a 3-player game, you could look at both other players. In a 4-player game, you could look at the 2 players next to you, just not the one across from you. And what this means to spy on them is you could take the action of their matching level. So if the pink player decided that, they would be able to look at blue's level 1, and they would gain a black cube on their level 1. So again, these 4 guys are just going to get you some cubes. This guy's going to let you kind of upgrade some of your power. This guy will get you a private contract or let you use someone else's action. And this guy says that you could pay 2 credits in order to gain a reward. Let's go look at the reward board. And notice right now it's on level 4. So if the red player was choosing the level 4 action, for example, they would gain a credit because that's the level 4 action here. And then they would be able to buy, or not buy, but they would be able to choose one of these 2 rewards. Now these are both the same, so it's not so exciting. But this basically says gain a battery. And there are other rewards. I want to talk more about those rewards if we choose that action. But basically you'd gain a battery immediately, and then you'd flip it over, and there would be an opportunity for you to get a bonus point. But yeah, that's what the rewards thing is. And then it just says that we would put the permanent reward, we'd flip it over and put that in this big square spot over here. Finally, if the red player chose action number 5, they would be able to unlock one of their locked scuba divers, as we had already mentioned. And then this scuba diver is the trader, T-R-A-D-E-R, not traitor. So this person is going to kind of let you buy or sell cubes. That's what that means right there. Buy or sell cubes, and you could gain money, or so if you buy a cube, you could spend money, or if you sell a cube, you could do that for the money or for points. Let me show you more how that works over here. So right here you can see the market, and there's the 3 kinds of cubes listed right there. If the blue player chose to buy a black cube, for example, they could buy this black cube, and they would need to be paying 2 credits for it because, you know, this market already has a bunch. If there was another cube there and they decided to buy another cube, it would only cost 1 credit because, you know, they have a lot of black cubes in the store. If you were to buy this white cube, for example, it would cost 3 credits because that's kind of on short supply. Or the red player could choose to sell a cube. If they have a cube on that level that they've chosen, then they could bring it to the market. So let's say they bring this blue cube to the market. If you put it right here, then that player is going to have a choice to gain 3 credits or 1 point. And then maybe somebody else is going to come in and bring in a blue cube to sell. And that person would get to choose 2 credits or no points. So probably the 2 credits and things like that. So that's just what that this particular diver does. Is it's a way to get, you know, one way to get a point is if you bring in a cube that's in need, or that's a great way to get a lot of credits is just by selling those cubes to the stores. So just to recap, as we're sliding these over, and the red player is going to make their choice. The red player could choose option 1, and I don't need to show you the sponsor board, I'll just tell you, but option 1 would let them flip one of their scuba divers over and make the power more powerful, essentially. And then slide this over to gain a card or spy on the neighbor. If they choose option 2 is going to gain them a battery from the sponsor board and then put a white cube here. Option 3 is going to let them use their scuba diver twice, so they would actually be able to get 2 black cubes down here. Option 4 from the sponsor board is gain a credit, and then they could spend 2 of their credits in order to gain a reward. And in this case, the rewards were just batteries. Or option 5 is we could slide that over, and the special action was to unlock one of their locked scuba divers, and then they'd be able to buy or sell a trader. Now, as I'm talking through those options, I don't think that any of those options are particularly awesome. But I did notice that the market is in need of blue cubes. So why don't we take advantage of that? I'm going to spend this battery, and if you remember, the battery is going to tell us that we can use the mechanic to move any one of our scuba divers up or down 1 space. So I'm thinking let's pick up this trader and slide them up 1 spot like that. And so that was our use of our battery. We could do that during round 1. And now what we're going to do is we're going to slide over option number 4. And just like what happened with the blue player, they're going to be able to gain a credit. And then we're going to push this all the way over, and now we have a choice to buy or sell, and we would need to deal with this level. So if we bought a cube, it would come into this level. Or we could sell the blue cube in order to gain either 3 credits or 1 point because there were no blue cubes in the store right now. Well, I think maybe we should take advantage of the fact that black cubes are kind of cheap, right? Well, so there's 2 things we could do. We could buy a black cube for 2 and put it on one of these spaces, and maybe that would be a good idea if we were going for this contract here, 1 of each kind. That way we'd have a blue and a black. But I'm thinking because this black scuba diver is going to be shifting down, maybe we don't really want to buy that. Maybe the right thing to do, strategically, I don't know if this is great. What if we just go ahead and sell this blue cube right now? And we're just going to go ahead and put that blue cube right here, and we're going to choose, do we want 3 credits or 1 point? Let's go aggressive. Let's say that we want the point. And that's going to put the pink player in the lead right now with 1 point. So to finish up pink player's turn, we're going to take that 4, put it down here. This scuba diver is going to come up, going to resurface, and we're going to slide everybody else down, and that's the end of the pink player's turn. Okay, hopefully you're starting to get the hang of it. We're going to pick a number, do the sponsor action, do the scuba action. We want to be as efficient as we can to get those contracts fulfilled. Now I want to tell you about one more rule now that we're kind of to our 3rd turn that you're seeing. Obviously we could pick 1, 2, 3, or 5 at this point. But we also have this X token, and we could choose to use this X token on any one of these levels here. So maybe you're wondering, well, why would you put an X token here on level 3 if we already have a level 3 one here? Obviously, it would be great if we could put it on 4 and use the level 4, because right now we can't. But you also could put it on another one. Well, here's why you want to use the X token strategically. Whenever you use the X token, this is kind of a reminder here. What you would do is you're going to take the bottom sponsor tile, put it at the top, and all of the others shift down. And so now the sponsor tiles are in a different place. So that's what the X tile does. Not only does it let you use a level for a key that's already locked away, but it's going to shift your sponsor tiles. And if you can wrap your brain around that puzzle well enough, then you could really do some good stuff. So it might be premature, but again, if I'm teaching the game and I'm the blue player, a lot of times I'm going to make some decisions that might not be the most strategically sound, just to show how some different mechanics work and to say, hey, here's one way to think of this. So it might be a little bit early to be using this X token, but here's why I think I'm going to use it. I want to spend a battery to move this blue scuba diver down 1 level like that. Okay, so that's spent. And now I'm going to use my X token down here. And what we do is we put it right there. And before we use the sponsor tile, we're going to swap them around. So this lock one is coming up to the top right here. And now, since I'm using the 4th level, now I get to use my scuba diver twice. And this scuba diver, as we push it over, is going to gain us a blue cube. And not only that, but because we're using it twice, we just got 2 blue cubes. And we're really close to being able to fulfill this contract. We used a lot of resources to get there. We've used our X token. And we've kind of got our blue scuba diver coming back up to the top, and we had to use a battery to do that. But man, it would be awesome if we could get one more green down here and fulfill that 3-2 contract. We would get 5 points. So that's what an X token can do here. And you'll see we're starting to fill up this hacker row down there. But our options are getting really limited now. And let me just slide these down just a little bit. Okay, so basic things that the red player can do. Now that the things are shifted, let me just tell you what the sponsor tiles are in place. If we do action 1, we're going to be able to bring back our 4, and then we would gain a blue at the top level. If we did action 2, the sponsor tile is that we could flip over, upgrade one of our scuba divers, and then we could get a private contract, or we could spy on the blue player. And the blue player's number 2 right now is to gain a black cube, so we could get a black cube here. We could pick option 3, and option 3 is going to let us gain a battery from the sponsor tile, and then we would get a white cube right there. Not a bad idea. We're out of batteries, and it would be cool to go for the one of each kind there. I'm liking that idea. Option 4, we don't have available to us unless we put an X token here. Now, let's go back to the sponsor board and think through that X token. If we were to use that X token, that's going to pull this one to the top, slide the rest down, so that would gain us a battery there too. So you remember, if you're going to use the X token, you have to think of the item that's the level above it, the sponsor tile that's above it, for what action you're going to be taking. So if we did use the X one, we would gain a battery and then a black token there, or black cube. I don't know that we need a black cube right there. Not super necessary. And again, I don't want to talk through every option. We could have used our X tokens here and taken a different ability there. I'm going to keep that in mind for sure. I just don't need to show you every time, I don't think. But option 5 right now would gain you a credit, and then you could get a reward to put over here. That's not a bad idea. Right now I'm kind of debating between number 3 and number 5. Let's go look at the rewards on level 5. So if we chose number 5, we would gain a credit, but then we would need to pay 2 credits to get one of these rewards. This reward would let us immediately choose a black cube or a blue cube to put in place, and then we would flip this over and put it on the level 5 spot. And what that would mean, here, let me show you, would be that if we had this permanent reward here, any contract we fulfill using cubes from this level will also get us 2 credits. That's what the permanent effect does. So if by chance this was up here, every time we fulfill a contract on level 3, we would get 2 credits, for example. So that's what the backside does. And then this one would just let you upgrade a scuba diver. You don't get any extra points for it the way that this provides, like you can upgrade and gain a point. This just lets you upgrade a scuba diver now, and then put a permanent reward of 1 point so that when you fulfill a contract using that level, you also gain a victory point. You know, these are good, but I'm not convinced that I know exactly which of these cubes I would really go for on that level. So for me right now, I'm thinking, let's just keep it simple. I'm going to go for option 3. Option 3 on the sponsor board is going to gain us a battery. Perfect. We slide that over, and now we're going to gain a white token here. We're halfway to getting the one of each kind on that level. So let's take number 3 and put it here, and then we're going to take this scuba diver, put him at the top, and slide everyone else down. So you can start to see, well, now we're really limited. It's going to be tough to get those other cubes there because we don't have a key here. Thankfully, unlike the blue player, we do have our X token if the opportunity presents itself to get a blue cube there. It might be coming up. So our blue player would love to get a green cube down here. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that I'm seeing how that could happen this round. Our green cube scuba diver is so far up. We could maybe buy one, but our buying and selling scuba diver is way up here, and we don't have any batteries to shift anybody around. Okay, so maybe what we're going to need to do is start thinking about the other contracts, things like that. We could use our 5 over here to gain a reward. Okay, well, let's talk about it. So we could use number 1. This would unlock one of our scuba divers. Ooh, that could be good. Well, but green is still so far away. And then we could upgrade one of these 2 guys. Not a bad option. It's always good to get those guys upgraded when you can. Number 2, the sponsor action would be to upgrade one of our scuba divers. Essentially, let me just give you a brief overview. All of these yellow squares in the bottom corner are kind of the upgraded action. What that means is that anything that costs stuff, so like, for example, this costs 1, it's going to make these actions free rather than having to pay a credit. Same thing down here. These actions become free rather than paying a credit. And then this becomes a cost of 1 instead of paying 2. So it kind of discounts those kinds of things. But then the upgraded scuba divers that just give cubes also will give you something else. So this guy gives you a blue cube, or it would give you a generic, another X token if we flipped that over. This green cube, would also gain you a credit when you use his upgraded side. This trader would let you gain 1 more credit or point than you would normally get when you sell, or when you buy, it's going to cost you 1 less credit. So they really help with your buying power. And then the black cube upgraded would gain you a battery, and a white cube upgraded will get you the ability to also unlock as you're using those white cubes. So that's just a general overview. I keep avoiding the upgraded things because I wanted to make sure you understood the mechanics for now. So we could upgrade a diver and then gain a black cube here. I'm not sure that we need a black cube there. Number 3, the sponsor was to get a battery. We are in need of batteries. But there's no contract for 4 cubes that we would want 2 white cubes there. Or number 5 is going to let us gain a credit and then gain a reward, just like just like we had talked about doing with the red player. It's not a terrible idea. We could get another black cube down here if we took that action and gain a credit. I'm kind of debating between number 1 and number 5. Let's do number 1, and here's why I want to do number 1. That's going to let us unlock one of our locked scuba divers, and we are kind of in need of having that number 4 unlocked. So let's bring back our number 4 key, and then this will just slide over, and then we're going to push this, and we're going to pay, and now we need to choose to upgrade either the mechanic or the hacker. Both options would honestly be good, but where these guys are so far up, let's upgrade the mechanic so that now when we choose to move a scuba diver, we can move them 2 spaces rather than just the 1. So let's pay that. And now we're just going to take this key, flip it upside down. We've used that scuba diver. He's coming up here. And there we go. That was the blue's turn. Slowly but surely, we're making our way towards that contract. Interestingly enough, so the scuba divers really were placed randomly during setup, but it's kind of interesting. They can have the choice to do the exact same action that the blue player just barely did. But I think that they're going to take action number 5. But we could use our X token on number 5, or maybe we could use our X token somewhere else. Alright, so which sponsor activity do we want? Maybe that would help. Okay, we're going to keep it kind of simple. I'm going to slide over number 5. That's going to gain me a credit. And now we'll push that over. Let's go pick a reward that we can add. So I have 1 black cube here now. And I'm not totally sold on these other contracts yet. It's pretty tough to get those cubes on the bottom level. Because you usually want to get them earlier than that. Why don't we go ahead, let's upgrade one of our scuba divers. Yeah, let's do that. So before we flip that over, which scuba diver do we want to upgrade? Do we want to make it cheaper to gain these rewards? Probably not so much. Do we want to make it free to gain a private contractor spy? Maybe. Oh man, gosh. So many choices. Again, the gameplay is simplistic, but the choices can be pretty intense sometimes. I think it might be a good idea to make this one free so that we can start moving these guys more and more. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that scuba diver so now we can move our mechanic or our hacker freely. And then we're going to take this, flip it over, and if by chance we can get a reward down here, we're going to also score an additional point. So now we'll take that 5, lock it, Then we're going to put this up here. And you could really spend a ton of time. This game is like analysis paralysis central. We could spend tons of time. I'm going to try to do a lot of my thinking off camera so I don't bore the heck out of you guys. But yeah, this is a brain burner for sure. Simple in its mechanisms, but man, it sure gets your brain going when you're trying to figure out how to get the cubes in the right spot. And before going to the blue turn, we just need to make sure that we refill this. These rewards always stay refilled. So as soon as you take one out, you refill it. Okay, so we got a couple more cube options down there. Could be useful. In fact, the blue player is seeing an opportunity. Oh, man. Ugh. I was hoping I still had my X token. I wanted to execute this thing twice in order to get both of these blue cubes, because it's going to be a while before we could ever get the blue cubes down there. And I was trying to switch the sponsorship tiles. So if I had my X tile, I'd be able to swap these down and then use that bottom action twice. But I've already used my X token, so I can't do that. Ugh, too bad. Spying isn't going to be very helpful. I probably want to avoid this altogether so I can get my one more green cube over there. But the pink player has this exact same diver on that same level. Alright, so my options are, number 2, the sponsor action is to upgrade a diver and gain a point if I spend 2 credits. That's good. And then getting a black cube here. Okay, not really any contracts coming in right now that use 3 cubes. I know they're in there. We might need to be drawing one. That's not a terrible idea. I'm just trying to save that 4 to get a green cube here. Action 3, the sponsor action, was to gain a battery. I am out. We could get a white one here. But no contracts with a 4 that would get 2 whites up there. That's not overly helpful. We want different colors. Option 4, we would use this power twice. Lots of reasons to not do that. But then option 5 is to gain a credit and then a reward. Maybe we just do that. None of the other options are really yelling out to me, except maybe this one. Wouldn't be a bad idea to upgrade somebody. But also it's good to get that black cube lower if we can. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do that. That's going to gain us a credit, so we'll grab one of these. Perfect. And now let's spend 2 credits to gain our reward. And really quickly, I just realized I forgot to spend 2 credits from the red player when we got our reward too. Okay, that's taken care of. You know, I'm thinking it would have been awesome if I could have gotten both of those blue cubes at once, but I couldn't. But it's going to be a while before we can get blue down lower. Let's take one of these and one of our blue cubes and head back. All right, oops. So blue cube is coming here. That's the immediate reward for this. And then we're going to flip it over, and if by chance we can fulfill a contract down here, we're going to get 2 credits. So that was pushing that over. That's going to lock up our 5. We'll take this guy up higher, push the rest down. Like that. All right, that was our blue turn. Okay, I think now's the time to use our X token. We're going to put the X token right here. And that's going to let us shift these around. And remember, we just put that X on level 3. So now, let's pay 2 credits. I'm really going to do it this time. And we can upgrade a diver and gain another point. So we're going to pay 2 credits. And then we're going to upgrade a diver. And I'm thinking we're going to go for the blue diver, because this blue diver, when we use him, is going to get us some more X tokens, which are pretty nice. And now we're going to slide that over, and that's going to gain us a blue cube on this level, which we wanted. We're just 1 black cube short of getting that there. And then we're going to get one of these neutral X tokens. We're just going to put it up here, and it's going to be available for us to use just like our other X token. The only difference being that if you had a neutral token down here, when you get all of your keys back, you return the neutral token to the supply. You don't actually get it back up here at the top. But it's good to have. We've got it now in case we need it. Yeah, so I'm glad we've got that. Okay, cool. So that was the end of that. We're going to take this X token, flip it there. Our scuba diver comes back up to the top. We slide everyone down. Ooh, now we're really just thinking, how in the heck can we get a black cube there? And really quickly, I just forgot to give the red player another point because of using this upgraded diver thing there. And then we need to refill this reward. Keep forgetting stuff. Okay. All right, a green and a white cube available for that reward there. The blue player is a little jealous of that pretty smart thinking. They're going to use option 3 or sponsor 3, which was to upgrade the diver. All right, so then we're going to go upgrade our diver, and we'll just give ourselves a point while we're here so I don't forget. And he wants to upgrade his white cube technology divers so that he can start unlocking things better whenever we get that white cube into place. Hopefully that's going to be a smart move. And then we're going to push that all the way over. That's going to gain us a black cube. And then we go ahead, put that up here. We got to flip that over down there. Slide everything down. Oh, we're really close to being able to get that green cube if we're smart, but man, we're out of we're out of credits, we're out of batteries. I got to keep that in mind next time. Okay, so I think the red player is going to go ahead and use action 2, which is going to let them unlock a scuba diver. And let's go ahead and unlock scuba diver 3. We're trying to get prepared, if we can, to get the trader down here in order to push him over and get a black cube right there. All right, and then we're going to push that, and that's going to gain us a green cube here on the second level, and that's going to lock this one up right here. And then we'll grab that and slide them up top, really close. Oh man, we just got to get another credit before we can really jump on that. Okay, the blue players really put themselves in a pickle. We've been trying to avoid 4 because we don't want to push a white cube over to here. But we also don't want to lose the green one over here because the green's going to resurface and we don't have a battery to keep him down there. Man, thinking's hard. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and push the 4 there. That gains us a much needed battery. And then we're going to push that all the way over, which will get us a white cube, and then we can unlock one of our divers. Now, again, I'm annoyed that I have this white cube here, but the trader's going to come down and we could sell off that white cube and get it out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and put that diver up here. That's assuming we can get our number 4 back, but I think we can. I've got a plan. So go ahead and lock number 4. Oh man, we're so close to getting all of those back. We're going to have to execute this one next time, unless we do something smarter or different. Now the red player is not quite ready to get the black cube because we're going to have to buy the black cube from the market, which is going to cost us 2 credits. We've only got 1, so we're going to use action 1 because that sponsor tile gains us a credit. So let's grab that. And now we push that all the way over, and that gains us a white cube right there. Go ahead and lock this guy up. Lock him up. Don't yell at me. I'm just politics. And you can see how fast the turns are going now, which is cool. But I'm doing a lot of my thinking off camera because as much fun as it is to watch me think, I think we'd rather not. All right, so let's plan on pushing number 2. I mean, we don't have any other thing we can do. And right now that sponsor tile is going to let us unlock. And I think I'm doing my thinking right. We want to unlock number 4. Yeah, we're going to unlock number 4. Push this all the way over. So we need to grab a blue cube. A blue cube goes right here on that level. And then we're going to lock number 2. And we're going to return this guy to the surface. Push everybody else down. Okay, so I know that I'm kind of going quickly through these turns, probably on camera. Believe it or not, I'm doing a lot of thinking off camera. It just probably feels like I'm going pretty quickly. Hopefully not too quickly. I know I can use this X, but I don't really see a reason to because I think I'm going to use the 3rd action. And I'm going to decide not to pay the credits to upgrade a scuba diver. It sucks. I wish I could afford that, but with only 2 credits left, I want to save them to get that black cube here with the trader next time. So, yep, we're going to do that. Ooh, push those a little too tightly. Okay, so slide that over. Now we can move either the mechanic or the hacker. I want to move the hacker. Now, we don't quite refresh these right this second. What we do instead is we grab this. It overlaps right here. And at the end of the turn, you kind of evaluate if you're resetting everything, which we will be. this guy's going to come up here, and we get every one of these back. We didn't use our neutral X yet. Oops, let's flip that the right way, so it's still hanging around. We're going to have 2 X's to deal with. That's great. So we got our X up here, and then a 5 and a 4, like that. And we still got our 2 credits, so the next time we can get our black cube and finally fulfill that contract there. Yeah! So for the blue turn, what we're going to do is we have to get rid of this white cube to welcome this green cube. And so we're going to pick option 4, which gains us this battery. And now we're going to push that over, and let's go to the market. Let's take this white cube with us. And when we put this cube here, we could either get 0 points or 2 credits. I think we'll get 2 credits, which we desperately needed. And now we're going to bring 4 down here. We return our diver all the way up to the top. And now, because these are touching the hacker, we go ahead and return all of these keys to their place. Oh man. See, this is where the game gets super fun, is when you get this plan and things just fall nicely into place. I'm liking that a lot. Okay, just like that. And now, he's ready for next turn to get that green cube and fulfill his contract. Ooh, smooth. So I don't know if how this is timing out so nicely, but I guess I'm not complaining. So once again, we're using contract 3. I really don't have any credits to spend on the upgrading a scuba action, which really is unfortunate. I wish I could be doing that. I haven't planned my credits well. So we'll just ignore that sponsor action, push over, and then let's go buy a black cube with these 2 credits. And just to clarify, I know it's 2 credits because there's this cube right here. 2 credits, that's what we're buying it for. And that puts that there. And I'm going to be completing the contract that uses 1 of each color. So that was this contract right here, just to confirm. So let's go ahead and return all of these things. Really sucks that we gave up so many good upgrading opportunities, but I think we just had to do it. And we would just discard this just so we don't clutter up the screen too much rather than discarding it here. I'm just going to discard it off screen. And we go ahead and immediately replace it with this one. Okay, so this one's 2 blacks, a white, and a blue. We'll have to see if we even kind of are close to something like that. Oh, but before I discard that, we need to give ourselves 4 points, a battery, and a credit. So 4 points is going to put us down here at 6, not too shabby. And then we need a battery and a credit. And then we just locked up number 3, but that's all good. Slide these down. Not quite sure. We might need to look for a private contract because we're not really set up to do anything after that. We spent so much time getting ready for that moment. And the blue player's ready for his turn. I think we're going to make it an even bigger turn. I'm actually planning on using the X token instead of the 4, and here's why. I don't know that I really care about using a battery right now. I've already got 2 batteries. So by using the X token, we're going to swap these things around. This one comes here. We're using level 4, so now we can pay 2 credits. I'm just going to grab it off of the board. And that's going to let us upgrade a scuba diver and gain a point. We're still behind, but not for long. Let's go ahead and upgrade our spy so that this becomes free to go spy on somebody else. That sounds like a fun thing to do. And then we're going to push this over. That will gain us our final green cube that we needed to fulfill the contract. So let me just grab these cubes so we can go fulfill the contract over there. And with 3 blues and 2 greens, we've just fulfilled this contract, which gets us 5 points. So now we're up to 7 and 1 credit. We can discard that card, so let me grab this credit, but also refresh. New contract, 2 blues, a green, and a black for 4 points. All right. Pretty interesting there. Let's bring this over like that. And I'm actually going to keep this green one here. Man, this was a big turn, bigger than I anticipated. I'm going to lock up that X, but I'm going to pay the battery to keep the green scuba diver down here because that new contract we just unveiled uses 2 blues, a black, and a green. So I could get that green one down here and be ready, pretty close to ready to fulfill that contract. So there's that. None of the contracts are looking really tempting. Do we really want to use that 4 again? I don't. We're going to use our X token. Let's put our X token right there. That's going to swap the sponsors. And now, number 4 says we can unlock a token. We'll bring 3 back into play, and then we're going to slide that over. I'm going to spend a credit, and I want to go through the contracts and see if we can find something better. So I've just gone ahead and drawn these 4 contracts so that we can kind of look at our cubes. Let's see if we've got anything more positive. Well, this one's not too bad. 111. We're pretty close to that right there. And, well, we're a ways away in the sense that our blue, well, no, our blue is right there. Oh, duh. Probably want to do that. Or a 2 and a 1. Well, it would be just as easy to get another green one there. Or this one's already ready to go. We could just do that right now. That's 1.22. Well, I mean, it would be effortless to get this 2 points. I mean, it's also effortless to get this 1 point. But while it's effortless, let's just plan on getting an additional point. So we're going to hold on to this private contract. Normally that would be face down, hide from the other players, but I'm not hiding it from myself. And then we're just going to take these cards, and these go at the bottom of the draw deck. So we'll just go ahead and put that there. It's ready to go. So now we got our X token locked. And then this guy is, I don't know that we need to keep him down here necessarily. Not much happening on the other board in terms of spying and stuff, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and put that there. Slide it over. Nice job on that pink turn. Really close to getting that next contract fulfilled. So now, as far as I see, the blue player has 2 good options. We could spy, which would let us get a black cube here, and that could let us go for that black, blue, and white contract. And white's here. Or, oh yeah, the trader's way up here. Or we could just fish out a new contract and see what we could do, and that's going to bring the green one down here. It is going to take us some time to get a blue one, but oh man, it's 6s at this point. Let's gosh, I don't know. Just so we're not copying the red player all the time, let's go ahead and use this. Can't afford to upgrade right now, so we won't do that. And we're going to go ahead and spy on the red player. The red player has got a black cube down here, so we're going to gain a black cube for our side, which I've just gone ahead and grabbed. So we've got that there. Either way, it's going to be great to fulfill this contract so that we can get those 2 extra credits. Take advantage of that moment. And then we're going to go ahead and put that 5 down here, and we have used that scuba diver, slide it down. And what the blue player is going to try to do is figure out how to get his blue key back in order to use this action. Probably going to have to unlock, right? And then my goal is to get a white cube so that I can do the black, white, and blue action instead of this one. I really could have gone either way. It wouldn't have been a big deal. And I think you may have been yelling at the screen, why did I hold on to the 111? That was stupid. This is green, that's white. I want that blue one. I think I didn't account for the sliding. I shouldn't have done that. That was dumb. But either way, let's just spend the battery to account for my dumbnicity. And we can move a scuba diver 1 space. So let's move this blue one up. And now we're going to activate number 2. And I think I'm doing this right. You can obviously correct me if I'm wrong. But number 2 is going to let us use our scuba diver twice. Which means we're going to push this over. That gets us our blue cube and a neutral token, another one. It's good to have those. And then my understanding is that this fulfills immediately. So we just barely got 2 points and a battery for these cubes here. So cube, go there. We got 2 points and a battery. And then I think we activate that again. And we can put a cube here. Like, I don't think we have to wait till the end of our turn. I think that's an instantaneous thing. That's my best guess. All right, so that goes there. I'm going to take the 2, and then we'll bring this guy up. And that was the red player's turn. They're in the lead. Blue needs to get their 5 token back, and so they're going to use option 4, or key 4, which is going to unlock one of their locked keys. So let's bring this 5 back into place like that, slide that over, and I think they're going to keep upgrading their mechanic because that way they can start pulling those cubes down a lot faster. That's going to lock up number 4, pull this guy up here. Just like that. That was the blue turn. Now we can fulfill that contract next. So the red player, I'm not quite sure what to do. We're really low on money. We've got to get money back. This is the trader up here. But the white cube is only going to get us 1 credit. It's not really going to... It's not going to do much. At least not in my opinion, to bring that down. To sell the 1 cube. I don't think that that's really worth our time or our effort, necessarily. But we could, I don't know, let's just use action 3, which will gain us a credit. And why I put this here, I have no idea, but man, we got all these X neutral things, lots of power there. Slide that over, gain a green one. I got to think about how I can start using that more efficiently. Nothing really showing worth holding on to this green one here. So let's go ahead and put that 3 there. This here, and we slide on down like that. So before, I know that we're ready to get this green one, but I would really like to have another credit so I can upgrade before that. So before we do this one, I'm going to do action 3 as well to take advantage of getting that credit. So the third sponsor is going to get us a credit. And I know that the black cube isn't going to do much for us right now, but I am hoping that maybe we'll get a private contract soon, or maybe we could sell those off. I'm not exactly sure, but that's going to end the blue turn, and we have enough credits that we can upgrade next time when we take action 5. This is so slippery or something. And this might be goofy, but let's use one of these neutral X tokens. That's going to really piss off the blue player. I didn't even do that intentionally, but I like it. Okay, so that's going to slide these up here. And I'm mostly doing that because we couldn't afford to do that again. Once again, we just don't have enough credits. But that will let us unlock. I'm honestly not exactly sure what I want to unlock. This one's going to be used. Things are sliding down. I think I want to upgrade that again. So let's grab the 3. Sure, why not? Slide this over, gain a black cube, and we're going to hope that we can get a private contract or something to do with that. And now we have lost that token. Sorry, my dog just woke up. And we're going to go ahead and do this like that. Okay, player 5 is extra annoyed, but we're going to put that there. They will no longer be upgrading. Now they're going to be unlocking. And I'm not exactly sure what to unlock at this point, so let's grab the X token back, slide these over, just as a safety net. And then we can go ahead and push that. That gains us a green token. Now we have enough to fulfill our contract and get 2 more credits. Oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I wasn't thinking, which is really embarrassing. Hold on, I can repair this. I kept getting my 2 contracts mixed up in my brain. I'm so dumb. That's okay, let's go. Look, I'm going to show you this is still doable. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit rewinding. Don't get mad at me. But before I pick this number, I'm just dumb. So I'm going to lose that green cube. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my battery. I'll just throw it over there. And what we'll do is we're going to bring the white one down 2 spaces. We can. Our mechanic's going to let us move things 3. That was just so stupid. And then I unlocked and I pushed that over. And that's going to let me get a white cube and unlock another one. Gosh, I'm dumb. I don't know what in the world. It's tough to track all this stuff. I mean, it's tough to track your own stuff. And then 2 players, whatever. Forgive me. Okay, now let's go back and try that again. So, put these back here. That fulfills this contract, which gets us 4 points. So that's going to put us at 11. We're going to get a battery, and then the 2 credits, because that was that bonus that we had gotten, that permanent reward bonus. Right here, that one. So we got 4 credits and a battery. Whatever. Hey, look, green's coming back down. That's cool. There, like that. I'm smart. Where it's all good. And then we're going to refill the contracts and a 2-1-1-1. Okay, red player might be able to make something of that, or of this 2-2-1. Okay, I think the red player's seeing an opportunity. I don't know if it's overly helpful, but we're going to see. I'm going to go ahead and slide this here. That's going to let me use my diver twice. And currently this diver is upgraded, so it can do these things for free, and we're focused on the hacker. Let's just move the hacker over twice. And now we're going to pull this down, it overlaps, move this guy up, and then we get all of these back. And we're going to be going through these now. That's as far as the hacker can go. But that's good. Okay, oh yeah, and these neutral ones we lose. And put that there. We do get our colored X back. Okay, I'm going to try to time it so that I can get a ×2 down here. It's going to be tricky, but we'll see. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll do something different. I don't know. Okay, blue player has really got to get private contract or something. Not much we can do with the cubes that we've got. So 1 over is going to let us finally upgrade like we were trying to do before. For this action here. So that's going to gain us another victory point. Oh man, red's got to catch up. And what are we going to upgrade? Let's upgrade this reward thing, make that only cost 1. And maybe we could start taking advantage of grabbing those rewards? Sure, why not? Then we're going to push that over, and rather than spying, right now the red player has gathering a blue cube and a X neutral token. Rather than doing that, let's grab some personal contracts or whatever, some private ones, and see if we can find anything worth having. So I'm going to grab 4 and then flip them over. What have we got? 2 whites and a black. Well, just the opposite of there, but I could get another white here. But white's far away. 2-2-1, not really set up for that. 2-1-1-1, not set up for any of that. White, black, blue. Oh yeah, I could get a blue one there. That's going to work out just fine. So then we go ahead and put these at the bottom of the draw pile. So, what am I doing? That. Special. Which uses up that there. This all slides like that. Okay, we're ready to kick off that and get another 3 points next turn. Okay, call me crazy, but I think this might work to my advantage. I'm going to put a neutral token here, which is going to shift the sponsors, and we'll gain a credit. And now I can spend, oh yeah, push, and I'm going to spend 2 to go pick a reward from level 5. And I know the white cube is coming along, and if I'm smart, I can do that at ×2. So why don't I grab one of these for a green, for example. So we're going to take this with a green cube. And don't worry, I won't forget to spend. And then what happens is, when you flip this over, you have to exchange this out. And so this one kind of becomes lost. I'm going to go ahead and spend these 2 credits. And then we need to refill this. Okay, just another one of those. Nothing too exciting there. And now we put this down here. This guy is going to come all the way up here. And if we play our cards right, we're going to be able to get 2 white ones over there, and that's going to fulfill a 5-point contract, which is going to put her back in the lead, I think, assuming I am thinking my way through this right. Blue player is basically ready to do his turn, so he's going to use action number 3, which is going to earn him a battery. And I don't know if I'm using these wisely enough, but I'm doing my best. Okay, so we've pushed that over, and then that's going to get us a blue. And with that done, we have our blue, white, and black. Now, any cubes left over, they just stay there. So we've got our blue, white, and black. Blue, black, white. We finished that, so we just got 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're getting close to the end here. So this comes down here. Oh, I don't see any reason to hold on to that guy, except for, I mean, one reason to hold on to him here is there is a contract that's 2 blues and a black and a green. Well, green's down here. I don't see the point. Maybe there is a good point that I'm missing. Well, but I could pull that green up. The problem is I've got to get these things back. Just for kicks and giggles, let's spend a battery, keep that guy there. I think I could take advantage of that. Maybe. We'll find out. Okay, so red is going to use one of the X's down here, which is going to shift those sponsor tiles one more time. And now we're going to be able to use that bottom diver 2 times. Sliding over, that's going to get us 2 white cubes, and we immediately fulfill the contract, the 2-2-1 contract, and we're going to get 2 extra credits for that. We need it. So let's just kind of dump these off. And that was 2-2-1, which is going to get us 5 points and a credit for this card plus the other 2. So we just got 5 points down here. Oh, we're so close. And then we got 3 credits, which we desperately needed. And there we go, like that. Flip this over, and then I'm going to bring this guy up here. Oh, it's a race. Let's refill that contract. A green, a white, and a black. Not so sure. So blue's kind of, honestly, a little unsure of what to do. Let's just keep it simple. We're going to use action 2, which is to unlock a key right now. And I'm thinking we're going to want to get a private contract soon. So let's unlock number 1, and then we could spend a battery to bring that down. Is kind of my thought. And then there was that contract that was, oh man, well, it was green, white, and black. We've got black coming down the line and white, so let's use this opportunity to, well, should we sell or should we buy? Let's sell this blue one. Oh, or should we buy? We could buy a white one and then bring that black one down pretty soon. But we got to get this blue out of the way anyway. Okay, yeah, so let's sell this blue. And that's going to gain us only 2 credits because we haven't upgraded the trader yet. So 2 credits there, and then this is the card that I'm kind of keeping an eye out for. So we got all of those there, and then that's going to exhaust this one. And then we slide that there. Red is also a little bit directionless at this point. Might be worth getting a private contract. I'm not loving any of those contracts that are up there. Option 4. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use our X token here. That's going to rotate these. Oops, what's that happening there? And then for option 4, now we have enough money. Let's upgrade somebody. And why don't we go ahead and pay the 2 to upgrade this guy. Might as well, we're about to use him. So we're going to upgrade that guy so that when we use this action, spying is free. And I mean, spying and collecting some other cards. But that also gained us a point, which is part of why I wanted to upgrade, was to get that point, stay on the blue's tail. So let's go ahead and grab 4 of these, bring them back over here. And is anything? 1-1-1, a white and a blue. Well, things are kind of far. Well, that blue's close, but not that close. We could use 2 different batteries to bring him up there. Kick it over. That would be 2 points. No, 1 point for that. Ooh, a blue and a green. Oh, perfect. Blue and a green. Only 1 point. A black and a blue. Well, blue and a green is ready to go. We're going to hold on to that one. It's only 1 point. I'm just feeling kind of directionless right now. Get these under here, like that. Which means we put this here. We're going to lose both of these neutral tokens over here. And then we get that one back. This guy's here. Oh, we were dumb. Forgot that was going to slide. Well, that's going to slide. Do you know what? We're going to pay a battery to keep everything lined up nicely so that we can get our blue-green fast. Okay, this might be a little odd. We're going to put the X token here for this turn. Shift those sponsors around. And for level 2, now we get to use our scuba diver twice. I'm going to pay 2 credits to move the hacker twice, because that's going to let us get all of our tokens back, thank goodness. So we'll go pay those. Push that there. And then that's going to bring this here. And this guy's going to come up to the top. And to finish our turn, we're going to get all of our tokens back because our hacker's hanging out right there now. 3, 5, and 4. Just like that. Okay, we got to get him some direction. Probably we're going to go for a black one right here and then a white one after that. But yeah, you know. Over here, we're just going to plan on number 2. And number 2 was now that we're going to use our diver twice. So when we push him over, we're going to get 2 green cubes this time. Man, I wish I'd upgraded him a little bit. And then we can go ahead and fulfill this contract. So we're going to get a point and a credit. So let me just grab the credit right now. And let's get rid of these and go give ourselves a point. Green, blue, and a point. Oh man, we're tied. Which got rid of this here. He comes back up to the top. So we got to be careful here. I'm going to use action 2, but I'm going to ignore the sponsor event. You can do that. And that's going to push a black cube into that spot. Again, we're trying to go for that green, white, black one. So that's going to go there. And then we put this here and this up here. And that's going to slide this white one right into place so we can beat the red player to that contract. We're both kind of halfway racing for that one. Realizing she's probably not going to make it, let's go ahead and do action 4. I'll just tell you that sponsor event is going to let us grab an unlocked one, push that over, and let's see if we can get another private contract. 1, 2, 3, 4. That could maybe get us there, or at least tell us where we should be headed. All right. 2 whites, a green, and a blue. We're almost set up for that here, if we can get the whites down there. Ooh, and that's 4 points. That could put us over the edge. Ooh, that's worth fighting for. A 1-1-1 for 2 points. Won't quite get us there. A blue, a green, and a black. That would get us to 18 points. There's a blue and a black. Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep that one. And these are going to get discarded to the bottom of this. Oh, pile. Why? Why, mommy? Oh, okay. I'm going to... Oh, we're almost fixed. These were like that. I'll just point out, really sad, this board has been warping. You can see those are like that. Oh, come on, board. Now, in order to get this contract, I don't want these things to slide, so I'm going to spend the battery to keep this guy in his place, and that way we can pop that over next time. Okay, blue player wants to use number 2, so he's going to use his X, which shifts all of these. And for level 2, now he gets a battery. From the trauma, there was an earthquake in the water. And there's the battery, and now we push this over. That's going to unlock this, and we also get our white cube right there. And that's going to fulfill the white, black, green contract. So green, black, white. And we just got 3 points for that. So let me get that discarded. I'm going to give myself 1, 2, 3. That's going to put us at 18 points, which is going to trigger Endgame. We're going to see if the red player can get her 3 points that she's planning on. Well, let's just do our cleanup. Don't see any reason to keep him there. Slide these guys down. And I don't think this is going to be possible because there's nothing that lets us take another turn. Because our plan was going to be to put blue into there, and then that slides down on our next turn, put a black into there. I think blue just barely won by a little tiny bit. Because we can't, there's nothing. I don't see anything that we can do to get both a blue and a black onto this level and fulfill that contract. So, I mean, if I did number 3, that would be to take this action twice. That would get us 2 blue cubes and 2 neutral cubes. Or what? Neutral keys, sorry. And at that point, we would just clean up like that. And then I was going to use one of my neutral keys to pop that black one over. Oh, man. And that was Otys. Victory for the blue player, but that was so close. One more turn, and we would have been able to turn in 3 cubes, leaving us with 3 cubes. So I would have gotten 18 points for the red player. So it would have been a tie. And in the case of a tie, the person with the most cubes in their search places wins. So had we had one more turn, red player could have pulled out a win on that one. That was close and really fun. So again, those turns go really fast. Once you understand kind of the nuances of where things go, and if people are thinking about their turn as time goes around, um, obviously it's really tough for me to play a competitive game, myself versus myself, because I find myself going towards similar strategies. I tried to diversify as much as I can, but it did kind of seem like, for whatever reason, I ended up with exact same actions on both sides every once in a while. Even though these things were at different levels, it's just kind of how it worked out. I didn't use the spy stuff so much. I was keeping my eye out for the spy stuff. I just didn't see a lot of opportunities where spying on someone else would have been advantageous. That's the biggest part of interaction there, and fighting over the contracts and all of that stuff. But anyway, that's Otys, a really cool game. I like it a lot. I like it for, like I said, the simplicity, the complexity in the decisions. Like you have five choices basically on your turn, but those combinations of things really manipulate stuff. And thinking about the X token and how it slides your sponsorship stuff around, whew, that's a real good brain exercise. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope that was enjoyable for you. Like always, if you want to leave me a comment, tell me how you enjoyed watching a competitive game. If you want to see more of those, or maybe not so much, that's totally fine. Or if you caught a mistake that I made, definitely possible, because there are so many little things. I tried to catch them as I was going. I know that I have a couple in mind I've jotted notes about on the side to get in editing. But if there's something I didn't catch, please let me know. Maybe the red player did win. Probably not, but maybe. Yeah, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. We will catch you in our next video. Bye!